Ian here from FPV Power. I'd like to give you an introduction of our new range of lithium-ion batteries for, well, kayak use. For your fishing, for your depth sounder, and all your powered devices on your kayak. Now, we have two sizes. The first size is a 7 amp hour, 7 AH, 7 amp hour, and that basically comes in at 455 grams in weight, and the 17.5 amp hour, which is the bigger brother, much bigger brother, comes in at 915 grams. So just so it's basically under a kilo. And the one I've got here, right here, is the 17.5 amp hour version. Waterproof connections, ports. When it comes out of here, they are IP67 waterproof when leads are connected. Now, when I say leads are connected, is excuse me, this lead. This is the male pigtail that comes with each set. So with your battery, you get the battery, the female end. Why female? You understand in a second, because the charger is a male end. See, the charger goes into here, boom, and it charges. So therefore, the pigtail is actually a male end as well. So you get the battery with the female lead, and then you get the male pigtail, and the male pigtails do come available as extras. So if you want extra pigtails, they're available for purchase as well from us. Now, that cap there is locked in place. You can see I'm shaking it around, but if I pop it over, you can see that there's a rubber grommet. That rubber grommet, which pops out, it seats in that little little gap there, and what it does is, once you plug it in, you can see how that is actually pressed against the gap, the opening, and that's the seal that creates the waterproof. Now, of course, once you push this back in, finger tight, bang, you've got your complete waterproof. And on this end of the line is where you will connect up your devices. Whether you put a junction box on here, have it going out to your various electronic components, or just keep it as simple as stick it straight to your sounder. Okay, and with all things, we always recommend you putting an inline fuse, which you guys are already doing, I believe, with your lead acid batteries or whatever battery power source you're using. So having said that, let me just explain the battery management system, the BMS system, which we've included in all our batteries, which is mandatory, and it's definitely you need it. The BMS system, battery management system, is responsible for looking after over discharge, and it's basically under voltage and over voltage, and when there's a short. Now, under voltage means, because with lithium batteries, once you bring them down below a certain voltage, which in this case, in the lithium ion, is 2.5 volts. So when you underload 2.5 volts, the BMS system will cut the battery. And underload, which means the voltage sags because it's underload, but once it cuts off, the voltage will rise again above the 2.5 volts. So that's all nice and safe, so you don't damage your batteries. And over voltage is when your charger, for example, if the charger malfunctions, the battery management system will cut the power off going to your battery. So that's the other safety aspect. And of course, the short. I want to demonstrate the short. Let me just drag this across here and just give you an example. Now, this is the positive and negative coming straight from the battery, fully charged, 12 volts. And as you know, if it's a 12-volt battery and there's a short, the wires will smoke and melt the insulation and catch on fire, and you burn your fingers, definitely. So it's not like we're talking about 2 or 3 volts, we're talking 12 volts car battery. Now, just for your reference as well, the brown is the positive in this instance on all our pigtails until it changes. So right now it's brown is positive, blue is negative. And like all good DIY projects, always check with a multimeter before you solder or make connections. So in other words, measure twice, thrice, cut once. Now, the shorting ability, the protected is, can you see the spark? There we go. This is a stainless steel scissors. Let me do it this way, since I'm a right-hander. I'll give you a close-up. There we go. So what this does is actually soldered. It's actually spot welding. As soon as there's a short, there's a spot weld on it. And how does it protect it? The BMS, what it does is, as soon as it's short, the BMS cuts off the power coming out of here. If not, as you can see, I'm actually holding it down with my fingers. There we go, nice and tight. My fingers will be burning. This thing will be smoking and melting within 10 seconds or so, easily with 12 volts. So, but this is not the case because the BMS is working. See, that's actually welded on. Oh, there you go. See, I'm actually pulling it. It's actually welded. See that? The weld has caused the wires to actually stick onto the surface of the stainless steel scissors, and that is definitely a short there. But because the BMS system has cut off power, there is no current going through any of this now. It's just a spot weld, bang, and it sticks there. So if I pull it off, there we go, it'll reset straight away. As you can see, it resets straight away. So that's how the BMS system protects in times of short, which we don't purposely want to short things out, but it's there for safety. So just to recap, undoing the connections, there we go, pull it open, boom, there you've got your battery ready to take home, store away, charge for the next round. So this is the 17.5 amp hour, 915 grams. The little brother is the 7 amp hour. It's smaller, of course, and lighter. It's 455. Let's see. Yes, 455 grams in weight. The dimensions of the small one is 110 by 80 by 50 millimeters at 455 gram, and the big one, which this is measurements. Let me see where we're at. Okay, it is 130 by 80 by 70 millimeters. Now the 130 is from there to there, across here, 130, and the 80 is over there, and the 70 is basically the height of the product. All right. Hope you enjoyed the introduction, and this will work wonderfully. Stick it in your battery in your kayak compartment. What people actually do as well is for securing, they can put 3M tape. There's a new type which is they call it the non-damaging photo albums, picture hooks. It's actually it's like a Velcro, but it's not furry. It's actually stiff and hard, and you clip it on. Just look up a 3M Command, COMMAND, double-sided photo hanging or picture